Hi guys, I am Vignesh. Now we are going to create a 3D model by using of this two different kind of an orthographic views. Here we have a front view, also the top view. If you see the top sections of this particular portions, we get this top end view. In this top view, the visible lines, also the hidden lines are shows at the particular portions. What it is represent, how we can use this kind of an use to create a 3D model in the Solidworks. Look at the dimensions from both the front view as well as the top view. Using this only, we are going to draw a profile and create a solid body under that. Also, we just transfer this body to create these portions also. That outer circular edges, it is represent like a two opposite vertical hidden lines. That inner circular edges, it is represent like this formation, that is a smaller hidden lines. Both are not visible under the top section views also. That's why it is represent like an hidden lines. Also, the two sharp edges on the outer zone, it is also represent like an hidden lines. So go to SolidWorks, select a front plane, create new sketch, start from whatever the profiles. If you look at the drawings, what is the initial profiles we drawn to create our own sketch means circular profiles. Choose a center point and draw two different circular profiles. Now assign the dimensions. The outer circle is nothing but the dimensions of 60 mm. So mention 60 mm by using of a smart dimensions. 60 mm. Then the inner circular profile. What is the dimensions of it? It is 36 mm. So mention 36 mm on this area. Then we are going to draw an additional profiles, like use a center line, draw one vertical profiles from one point to another point. Now I am going to give the overall dimensions from the center point to the final point itself. What is the dimension of it? Here the dimensions are split up into two different categories. One is on 72 mm, another one is on 24 mm. Now I am going to add the two different values to form a single value. 72 plus 24, we get a 96 mm for the overall values. Once we get that, then use a midpoint line profile, start from a particular point and draw one horizontal line. Once we draw a line profile, now we get the dimensions of 210 mm on this area. Now fix it on this particular portions, then mention the horizontal dimensions of 210 mm. Once we mention the dimension, let's draw a rest of the profiles, that is one vertical line, horizontal line and another vertical line. The small portions on the left hand area and vertical line. Let's fix this by using of a smart dimensions. The vertical dimension is nothing but 24 mm. The horizontal dimensions is 10 mm. So mention 24 mm first, then the horizontal dimensions is 10 mm. Again, we need to give the dimensions for this vertical line also. In this particular drawing, we cannot get the vertical dimensions, but the end point is positioned under the distance of 12 mm on the bottom portions. What is the distance? 12 mm. So select a horizontal line as well as the end point, then give the dimensions of 12 mm in this category. Okay. We need to create the same kind of profiles on the right hand. Instead of drawing a new profile, I using a mirror entities and choose these profiles in the entities to mirror and select a vertical line as a mirror above. Then form an entities from right to left portions. Once we draw a profile, I am connected using of a line to complete the overall profiles, then form a solid body by using of these two opposite profiles. Now use an extruded boss. What is the distance of it? It is have the overall distance of 60 mm. Under 60 mm, I am going to create a solid body. So go to features, select extruded boss and choose a type of midplane, then assign the distance. Distance of the solid body is 60 mm. Once we mention the distance, automatically the bodies gets created. Look at it, both the circular body as well as the rectangular body have the same dimensional distance of 60 mm. Once we create this body, next we need to draw one simple rectangular profile at the bottom end to create the solid portions from this area. Here we have two different kind of solid formations on this area. Either we can create a new sketch or we can simply go to the previous sketch by editing it and draw a new profiles on this area. Now I just select a front plane to create a new sketch and form a separate solid body in these zones. So once select a front plane, create a new sketch. What is the dimensions of it? Here there is two different kind of a solid body. One is in right one, another one is in front zone. What is the dimensions of it? 12 mm. So use a corner rectangular profile and choose this first end point. draw one simple rectangle up to its positions. Afterwards, I am going to pick the midpoint of the line and choose an origin point to give the vertical constraints. Once it is mentioned, it is positioned on the center of its area. Now we need to give the dimensions of 12 mm. So mention 12 mm on the horizontal line profile. It is fixed entirely. No need to give the overall length of this profile. It is enough to form a solid body on these portions. It takes the complete distance of 60 mm on this area. Okay, let's go back to the Solidworks and look at how we can easily create it by using of this. Also, we have two different profiles, but we are going to create one single solid formations on the bottom area. Now selecting these profiles, it takes place the entire category. So go to the selected counters, right click, clear selections and choose this particular closed sections to create the solid formations. Also choose the midplane. It takes the entire distance from the previous solid bodies area up to the distance of 60 mm. Merged with each other. Now again selecting this front plane and create a new sketch and draw one arc profile as well as a line profile to create another rib formation on the side area. Let's draw one vertical line. On the end point, we need to draw a 3-point arc profile. So select a 3-point arc from the end point up to its end point and center point. Once we draw a profile, now selecting this arc as well as the circular edges to make a tangential connections. After that, transfer the circular edges into a sketch by using of convert entities. Once we form it, next we need to give the dimensions for this arc profile as well as a line profile vertically and horizontally. What is the dimensions of this arc profile? It is nothing but the radius of 60 mm. So mention 60 mm on our 2D drawing. Go to the smart dimensions and choose this arc profile. Assign the dimensions of 60 mm. Now we need to give the vertical dimensions for this line profile also. Here in this 2D drawing, it is not clearly explained. Now whatever the dimensions we use on this each and every rib section is 12 mm. So use the same kind of a 12 mm. Mention on this vertical line. What is the dimensions? 12 mm. So use the smart dimensions. Assign the vertical dimensions of 12 mm. Then we need to position it horizontally. Now select the endpoint of the line profile as well as an origin point. Then give the horizontal dimensions of 72 mm. Look at it, it is 72 mm. Instead of creating a same kind of an entities on the right portions, now I am going to mirror this left entities into a right portions by drawing a simple vertical line. So use a vertical construction line from the origin point, draw from its particular portions up to the required distance. Afterwards, use a mirror entities. In the entities to mirror, I select this left profiles, choose a mirror about as a vertical construction line and draw our profiles. Once we mirror the entities, just trim the excess number of the portions. Before that, we need to transfer this edges into a line profile. So select this edges holding your control button and choose a convert entities to make it into a new sketch. Afterwards, trim the excess number of the portions also. Use the trim entities to trim the excess number of the portion areas. Once we remove the required profiles, afterwards form a solid body up to the dimensional distance of 12 mm. What is the distance? 12 mm. How we can easily evaluate this distance of 12 mm? Look at it, all kind of ribs are at the same kind of a distance. So select a sketch, go to extrude boss and choose a midplane category. Now assign the dimensions of 12 mm and form a solid body. Almost the solid body is created. Only thing we need to done from it to create a pocket on 4 different corner points. Now select one of its faces, either a flat face bottom one or the top one. Once we select it and create a new sketch, now draw a simple circular profile at the particular portions. Then use the dimensions to fix it, both the diametrical as well as the position wise. What's the dimensions of it? 4 holes have the equal diameter of 10 mm. So mention 10 mm. Afterwards, selecting the center point, first thing is we need to assign the vertical dimensions. The overall center to distance from one circular to another circle is 36. So mention half of the value of 18 mm. Then the horizontal dimension is 20 mm from the left edge point. Okay, this profile is positions. Then draw one vertical and horizontal center line. Using this, we are going to mirror these entities from left to right as well as top to bottom. One of the entities, it's mirror. Again, choose the mirror entities, selecting the two different profiles. In mirror about, selecting this horizontal center line. The overall profiles is mirror. Using this, we can able to create a pocket to remove the solid portions. The entire solid body gets created. Let's compare within this 2D drawings how it is exactly represented on its way. Now selecting this bottom faces, take it into a normal view, then change the display style into a wireframe. Into an hidden lines visible. Once we change its display style, look at these portions. It is clearly represent how the 2D orthographic projections shows in the picture itself. Same as like the circular edges as well as the left and right edges represent like an hidden edges. This is how the orthographic projections are transferred into a 3D model by using of these two different kind of views. If you look at this front view, there is some kind of an hidden lines clearly indicates there is a hole behind that. This is the exact portions we done from this area. Thank you.